One of the top edge rushers, Carl Lawson, makes the jump from Cincinnati to New York. Corey Davis, Michael LaFleur came from the 49ers. Kendrick Bourne was that guy for him. Now they got Corey Davis. And the sneaky Jared Davis signing.
Yeah.
Watch for Jared Davis.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? This is your host, Frankie Gons. We got Chesko here, as always. What's going on, man?
Nothing much. What about you?
Nothing much. Just trying to keep up with all this craziness that's happening right now in NFL free agency.
Tell me about it. The Jets are actually making moves, and smart ones.
Jets are making smart ones. You could say boring ones also. Maybe not the biggest splashes, but smart ones, for sure.
I mean, if you actually Jets Twitter, Joe Douglas is the worst GM
Oh, my God.
ever.
Oh, my God. Jets Twitter's ready to murder someone on the spot right now. They want Joe Douglas dead
They
right
want
now.
dead. I'm a free agent, dead.
Dude, literally an hour into free agency, they were like, oh, my God, Joe Douglas didn't do anything yet. Like, he's terrible. We want him out. It's unreal.
And then, finally and slowly, he started making some splashes.
Absolutely. So, obviously, we're going to get into that this episode, guys. We're going to start off with the current signings that the Jets made, from everyone from Corey Davis to bringing back, guys like Josh Adams. We are eventually going to go to some players that we think Joe Douglas and the Jets might have missed on. And then Chesko's going to hit us with some guys that he really likes that are still remaining out there. So, let's get started with guys that they currently signed. Who do you want to talk about first?
Let's get to the first big signing they had, Corey Davis.
Love that.
Corey Davis, great signing. Great signing. I mean, I love that deal. I'm a little surprised he was the first receiver to go, and no one else is really gone, after him. No one else has really got another big name. But Corey Davis, I think, is a great fit for the Jets. What they want to do. Great, reasonable contract. Solid receiver. He kind of reminds me I feel like him and Mims are going to be the same types of receivers almost, which I like.
I like that. That's actually someone to compliment Mims right now.
Right. I like that little thing. Crowder on the inside. If they don't cut him. But I like that little dynamic of Davis and Mims. I know people are worried. Davis' production is a result of A.J. Brown being on the other side of him. I get that. But he's still going to get his own.
Yeah.
No matter what, he's still going to eat.
Absolutely.
I'm not worried about him not being as productive. He's going to be productive regardless. No matter if it's Darnold, Wilson, Lance, he's going to get his.
So just to let everyone know out there right now, forgot to mention it before, it is Thursday night right now as we are recording it. So obviously there could be things that change or things that come about in the next few hours, in the next day, overnight, whatever it may be. So just wanted to point that out. And for Chesko, going back to your point, Corey Davis, 3 years, $37.5 million, 12.5 average, and guaranteed money, $27 million for Corey Davis.
Love it. Absolutely love it. I'm still intrigued to see what these other receivers get. Kenny Galladay and Juju. But I love that deal for the Jets regardless. It's a solid fit. He's going to be productive. He's still relatively young. Was he 26 years old at this point?
Yeah, he is 26 right now. That's correct.
Perfect.
The thing I like about him versus the other receivers that are out there, Galladay, a little too injury prone for my liking. Juju, I don't know if he's a little bit immature, doesn't fit that whole Joe Douglas thing.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to me like Corey Davis and honestly most of the guys that they signed so far for agency are like the stereotypical Joe Douglas solid guys that are focused on culture, good guys. You don't hear a lot of them outside of football.
Mm-hmm.
And I like this signing a lot. Again, it's not the one guy that everyone was probably praying for and hoping for, but I don't think any Jet fan is sitting here being like, oh my God, we got Corey Davis. Why do we get him? I think everyone's pretty content with it.
Right. Content's definitely the right word to say with him. The guy everyone's thrilled about? Carl Lawson.
Love.
That's the guy right there.
That's your guy.
My guy. Episode 2, if you listen to it. If you didn't listen to it, go listen to it now. Carl Lawson was my guy. I said, pay this guy whatever he wants. I said 14 or 15 million. That's what they gave him. 15 million. I love the move. The guy is a stud. I know a lot of people are saying, he wasn't really as productive. Only had, 5.5 sacks or 6.5 sacks last year, something along those lines. Guys, it's not all in the sacks. There are other stats that show you how productive guys are. You got to remember, he was with the Bengals. The Bengals. That means a lot of teams are playing conservative at the end of the games. They're up by a lot. He didn't have as many opportunities to get to the quarterback, and he still produced. He had the second most quarterback hits out of anyone in football last year, only behind T.J. Watt. That's impressive.
Very impressive.
And sacks created is a new stat coming. out there. He had 10.5 sacks that he created himself, which was 7th in football. The guy is a machine.
The one thing I love about him too is, did you listen to his press conference or I guess his interview that he had
I
today?
caught bits and pieces of it today. Yeah.
I just love the fact that I forget how the question was exactly phrased. It was like kind of like what the thought process was coming over the Jets, and the first thing he said right off the bat was like, Robert Saleh coming over. Just named him immediately. It said there were other factors. Obviously, said the right thing, but like it's just going to show, man, that this Robert Saleh defense and overall team culture is able to bring in guys like this.
And I tweeted out, I was like, a player came to the Jets for our coach?
Sick.
It's like they were in the Twilight Zone.
Sick. Absolutely.
No one's coming for Adam Gase. No one.
Adam who?
Yeah.
Over the Adam Gase.
But Lawson said he wanted to come play with Quinn Williams and play under Salah. Crazy, but I love it. It just shows Jets are finally going the right direction after all these years.
One would hope so. Crossing my fingers.
Right.
I am crossing my fingers.
Now, the one guy I'm a little confused about, Jarrad Davis.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a first-round draft pick. I get it. A fast linebacker. I get it. Last year was the first year he's ever been solid, and he played like 30% of the snaps.
So that's the one thing. My immediate reaction, I agree, confused. Looking into it, I believe last year, I forgot where I read this. Honestly, it might have been somewhere on Twitter. I'm forgetting exactly who it was, so apologize whoever it was. Last year, Robert Saleh defense, obviously you have with the 3 linebackers on the field, 2 of those linebackers play about 100% of the snaps. And then he has his third linebacker that he rotates. And there are multiple linebackers that come in, and that third linebacker that I'll just call it right now, there's about 3 of them that play that position, and they each roughly average 30% of the snaps. I mean, so to me, this seems just like a solid scheme kind of guy,
right?
Depending on what down territory.
I hope he said someone else then. I hope he gets someone else.
They have to. No, they have to. They for this to make sense, they have to. I'm assuming that they're bringing in some more linebackers.
I hope so. At least for depth purposes, you have to bring in more, regardless.
Yeah,
but we'll see where they go with that. And then the next guy they brought in, Justin Hardy.
I love him.
Justin Hardy. This is an under-the-radar signing, but people in football love this move. Apparently he's like the best gunner in football, or one of the best gunners in football. People are going crazy about this. And Douglas, his first moves, got a guy for the defense, that was a stud, in Carl Lawson. Got a guy in the offense, that was a stud, in Corey Davis. And then got Justin Hardy for the special teams. 53-man roster.
Yeah.
You got to get players everywhere. So I love this move, and people. I mean, did you listen to his interview today?
I was gonna say I knew nothing about him prior to signing, but what he said I wanted to run through a brick wall for him.
A lot of heart. That's gonna be a good locker room guy for his team, for sure. I like him a lot, and you saw like he's happy to be a Jet.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy.
Guy that's happy to play football, happy to walk into the Jet building, hopefully, and yeah, dude, I just liked his overall personality. Like, that's a good locker room guy. You could just tell from the way he spoke. That's a good locker room guy.
Yep. And then 2 other little low-key signings they had today. Keelan Cole, which, I think it's a solid 4th receiver for this team.
We need depth. Everyone complained last year that the Jets, when they had 3 or 4 wide receiver injuries at a time, we were throwing no names out there, and every Jet fan was complaining, like, oh my God, look who Donald's throwing to. Like, yeah, no one's ecstatic they got Cole, but then again, we can't be hypocrites because what Joe Douglas is trying to do right now is prevent what happened last year. Yeah, he's not a stud, but that's a good depth guy. That's a good number 4 option for a team.
And he had 55 catches last year.
55 catches on that team.
On that team.
On the Jaguars.
Yeah, so he's productive. He's a 4th receiver. He'll be productive this year for the Jets.
And
no doubt in my mind.
And I will never, ever complain about a 1-year contract. You sign him for 1 year, whatever. Just see what happens. Good depth.
2021 isn't the Jets year anyway.
No.
Right? Another guy, Dan Feeney. Probably the worst center in football.
That's a Jet.
That's a Jet. At his core, that is a Jet. The worst center in football. I think it's a depth piece. I don't see him starting, especially with McGovern.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be shocked if he was starting this team, but then again, Joe Douglas hasn't signed any offensive lineman yet, so who knows what he's going to do with there. So yeah, the Dan Feeney.
Well, just one thing to add with Dan Feeney, I think the other part of this as well is there are so many holes on this team. The offensive line, although, yeah, I guess it might be getting pieced a little bit better, obviously with Becton. McGovern's not a terrible center, but no matter what, you bring in more competition, you're going to keep these guys on their toes. And maybe it's like, hey, McGovern, maybe we're going to go in there. We might have to slide you over to guard. We might have to do something here or there. Just keeping fresh guys in there, like Dan Feeney. Although I think you even said, although he was probably rated the worst center, he has like the most stats over the past.
He plays a lot of snaps.
He has the most snaps. So he's a starter. So that's a guy that, hey, McGovern, you're going to have to maybe play a little bit better. I like the competition.
He's played every game over the last 3 years, I believe.
Sick.
He's a solid player. And other players they brought back the Jets, both Jeff and Vincent Smith, and they brought back also Josh Adams.
Yeah, and I think the
depth guys, I guess.
Jeff and Vincent Smith, again, just so you have some receivers that are physically there when there are injuries, and then Josh Adams, too. Yeah,
so I guess right now we have 7 receivers in the roster.
Right.
So far, because you had Braxton Berrios.
True. That's right.
It's a nice little group we have there, I guess. You know,
it's better than it was last year.
For sure. Oh,
absolutely.
For sure. Not even close. Also, one thing before we get off this, I want to mention just a little insight into what Joe Douglas is building here. Keelan Cole and Corey Davis are amazing blockers.
Really?
Tough, gritty blockers. That just shows. It's a little piece to it, you know? Little piece, tough guys in this team. I just love it. It's just, I know Joe Douglas knows that. I know he knows about the run blocking. I know he knows about all of that. It's the little things, man. The little things. That's how you know this team is being built the right way. And
I'm not going to pretend like I knew that, but after hearing that, I love it. I'm just like a down and gritty team. I love it.
Right. And I think that's pretty much covered everyone the Jets got so far.
So far, yeah. And obviously, again, I think it's all signings that, for the most part, are good. It's not a single. I mean, obviously, Lawson, a stud. That was your guy, 100%. No one else is really like, whoa. Like, I like Corey Davis. I think he's really good. No one's like going crazy over them.
Which I like that Joe Douglas isn't paying everybody.
No, I agree. I agree.
I'm happy who he is paying, and I'm even more happy who he's not paying.
Exactly.
You know, a couple guys we did lose though that I would have liked. You know, Joe Thuney.
And I just want to, give myself a little plug here. I said in the last episode, guys, he's going to go for $16 million a year, which is what he went for, and there's no way Joe Douglas is going to go that high for a guard.
Right.
And I mean, would we have loved him on this team? Absolutely. Is it confusing me that he hasn't addressed the line at all? Yes, but I'm hoping it's because he's going to draft.
Right.
I'm hoping he is, but that's a big miss.
Right.
And I think the writing was on the wall. I think most people knew it, and obviously, I mean, to get him away from Kansas City, you would have to offer him not even 17, maybe not even 18 million.
Well,
it would have been absurd. Like, he can't. No. It is what it is. It is what it is.
And then we lost Corey Linsley also.
Yes.
To the Chargers.
Yeah, but we got Dan Feeney, so we're good.
Yeah, Dan Feeney. Oh my God. But the two common denominators. Look at the quarterbacks of those teams. Tony's going to play with Pat Mahomes. Lindsey's going to play with the best rookie quarterback there was last year, in Herbert. Two guys,
good point.
Veterans, and want to play with good teams.
It's a good
that
point.
Paid them, and that's what happened.
I mean, Tooney did not make a mistake on where he went.
No, he went from New England to Kansas City. Not a bad, turnover. And that's And we also lost some Kyle Juszczyk.
Yes, that's a big loss.
But they never let him leave the building. I don't blame it.
Yeah, got a lot of money too.
Yeah. And then we, all the guys you lost on, Jonnu, he got paid a lot. But I get why the Jets wouldn't go that high for Jonnu, because we're not in a position to pay a guy like that yet. We're not ready to win now. It's not. We had a quarterback in place and an offensive line.
Jets just brought in LaMarcus Joyner, by the way.
Oh wow. LaMarcus Joyner just signed with the New York Jets from our producer Rob.
$4.5 million.
$4.5 million. That's a little surprising. I wanted Keanu Neal, to be honest with you. But is he playing corner or safety? Where is he at?
He was a slot corner in Oakland. He's going to be a safety for the Jets.
Wow, he's going to be a safety for the Jets, my producer Rob. All right, so that's
that just.
So LaMarcus Joyner's the Jet. Okay, I like that idea. I guess. I mean, I see him more as a free safety type.
90.1 graded free safety last year.
Wow, a 90.1 PFF graded safety last year.
90.1?
90.
And how many snaps do you have at safety? Was you all safety?
1,500.
1,500 snaps of safety. All right, we'll take that.
Career.
That's enough.
That's I like that a lot, actually. The more I hear about it now, it sounds like. So I guess May will play more of a strong safety type, or I don't know if it's a depth move, or if they're going to still sign a strong safety. But
I wonder where this plays, where Ashton Davis comes into all of this stuff too. If he's playing safety,
yeah, he'll be more of like a situational. Well, it's a lot to think about now. Okay, I like that move. I guess LaMarcus Joyner for the Jets.
I'm just still trying to wrap my head around that. Wasn't there a player? I'm just slipping my mind. Who was a guy in the last episode that you mentioned, safety or cornerback that you really wanted?
Oh, Quan Williams?
Yeah. Do you think that this prevents them from getting him?
No, he's a corner. He's an inside corner. I don't see. I think it's, no, 2 different positions. I mean, he probably played some nickel corner too. So yeah, okay. So LaMarcus Joyner's New York Jet. Where are we going now? Where were we? Jonnu, and then another guy I wish Jets would have gotten also, Curtis Samuel.
Yeah, he got. I would have loved him on the Jets. I really would have. I think that's a big miss by Douglas.
To me, I'm not critical of many moves that Joe Douglas made or didn't make. I should say both. But I'm really surprised he didn't cut Crowder and sign Curtis Samuel with that money.
I just think it's a huge miss just on the fact that like Samuel could have done a billion different things.
Yeah,
Shanahan,
he could have been
type
so
of offense.
versatile on this team. Like I said on the last episode, he could have been used like a Debo.
Yeah, literally.
And as a running back too, like I don't get that move. Why not bring him in?
Honestly,
and you could have cut a guy like Crowder.
Yeah,
who had 1 year left. And saved $10 million this year and paid Curtis Samuel that. I don't know.
I honestly would have thought, obviously, given all the receivers that were franchise tagged and who was available in free agency, I would have thought that receiver number one that the Jets should have gone after was Curtis Samuel, just for their offense that they were playing. I'm not saying he is the number one receiver. I'm saying for where the Jets are at right now with their offense, with the other talent they have on their team, Curtis Samuel should have been their first phone call, or maybe second after Tooney. Mm-hmm. But I think that's a huge miss. That's something that I think Douglas made a big mistake by not going after him and not getting him, I should say.
There was a couple guys who I wish the Jets would have, at least maybe, I don't know if they didn't or didn't call these guys, but for the price tag, I think would have been good fits with his team. Mm-hmm. And I mentioned one of them, Jamal Williams, in the last episode of the podcast. I think he went for $3 to $4 million a year.
I had something around there. I can
he
look
was
that
cheap,
up.
And he went to Detroit. I mean, you couldn't figure a way to get him in the door. I mean, it would have been a solid receiver. I mean, I would have rather him than Josh Adams and P. Ryan and who's the third running back?
Ty Johnson.
Ty Johnson? No, I mean, get a guy who's been here, done it. I would have liked Jamal Williams there.
You got to just hope that they are drafting someone.
I mean, I don't even know they're going to draft a running back. I mean, I don't know if it's a small move to even draft a running back. But I guess it depends where. I'll get into that a little later, I guess. And then the last guy, which Jets would have signed, is actually another New York guy, Zeitler.
Yeah.
A guard. We have no offensive guards.
No. That's why it's just so confusing to
He went for a little over $7 million a year to the Ravens. Another great signing by the Ravens.
And that's the thing. It's like you're going to take $7 million to go to the Ravens to come to the Jets. It's got to be at least $8 million.
I don't know, man. He's already in New York. Maybe we could have gone for that price.
Yeah. No, I understand.
There's a few guys who wish could have been on the Jets for the price tag they had.
That's fair. I guess my mind just always goes back to that Jets tax, where it's like you're going to have to overpay for some of these players, and I really do think that what Douglas is trying to do, I'm curious if at this point it's less about the talent that you're bringing in. Obviously, he cares about the talent, but more about the people you're bringing in and just changing the organization rather than just trying to buy some wins, because I think we all know they're not really buying any. No matter how much money they were spending, they're not buying wins this year.
Right.
You got to change the culture first, and then build the winning team.
2021 isn't the Jets year.
No,
it's not.
No.
There's still a lot of positions that the Jets have to fill in this team.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Cornerback, they haven't really done anything there.
I have here running back. They need 2 guards.
Yep.
Possibly a center. I mean, you want to flip flop it if you put McGovern at the center guard position. Mm-hmm. Corners. They need nickel corner. They need an outside corner. I like another linebacker, like we talked about before.
They need depth.
They still need depth regardless, but I like a starter. Mm-hmm. A safety I had on my list, but I guess now LaMarcus Joyner is going to take that spot. Unless they want to sign another one. Linebackers, corners, and a tight end would be nice too. I don't know how much Joe does. The 2 positions I'm really, I don't want to say, I'm so confused on what Joe Douglas wants to do is running back and tight end.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how much he values those positions.
That's a fair point.
I don't know if he wants Ryan Griffin to be the starter next year.
Or Herndon. I don't trust either of them.
So I don't know if he does, if he sees something, if he wants maybe just a blocking tight end, if he wants a receiving tight end. maybe as a plan in the draft, maybe trade back and get a Kyle Pitts or take him at 2. Who knows? And running back, I have no idea. Because he signed Josh Adams again and Ty Johnson and Pirine. Does he trust those guys? Does he want to go to war with those guys, especially with the offensive line we have currently?
And this is what I think was the biggest problem. I don't want to go about Adam Gase too much, but I don't even care at this point in time about the record and how he spoke to the media. I don't even care about that. It's like he was so bad to the point where you can't even evaluate a lot of these players for what they did this last year because of Adam Gase's inept offense.
That's true.
And it's like, listen, we might be confused about what Joe Douglas wants to do there because maybe Joe Douglas is confused. He might be looking at this and genuinely, he might not know. He might be on the fence.
I just hope he knows. He's not telling anybody what he's going to do with Darnold.
Oh, yeah. No, God.
I
hope.
would love some clarity in the situation. I just want to know that Joe knows what he's going to do.
I don't think they do yet.
I feel like he's going to wait till April to even make a move for trading Darnold. I feel like right now's not the time. But at the same time, all these places are getting quarterbacks. Fitzpatrick went to Washington.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see guys start signing soon. So I don't know. Maybe the value's not there for Darnold.
Are the Bears even looking for quarterbacks anymore?
I mean, they tried trading for Wilson. They couldn't get him. So maybe that's an option.
Right.
The 49ers possibly, I guess.
49ers, yeah, I could.
I feel like those are the top two spots to go right now. But who knows where these guys are going to go. Another interesting thing that happened today, Chase Daniel got released today.
Did he?
Career backup, known as one of the best backups in football at the quarterback position.
Interesting.
So I think he's made like $30 million in his career as a backup.
That's best. I need that job.
Best seat in the house. Watching football on the sidelines for $30 million in their career. I like that. So I think it's a good move, even if it's Darnold as a quarterback next year. Bring in a guy like that.
Oh, they need a backup quarterback. But like there is genuinely no.
We have the cap space to do it.
They need a backup quarterback.
You know, and I don't want these guys who, if a quarterback goes down, is gonna screw the pooch. You know, a guy like Chase Daniel would be perfect. You know, finally a quarterback we have like that's reliable. You know, now that Joe Flacco didn't play the year before, got his job taken away, all that stuff. Chase Daniel would be a great back quarterback to have. Running backs also. Again, we have 3 running backs here. Do you trust any of them? And Lindsley got
again, it's just so hard. Like you don't really know.
I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say you just really don't know what you have in the running back because we saw a ton of Frank Gore last year.
Yeah,
so you really don't know. I mean, Ty Johnson had decent spurts. Pirine you barely saw. So like I don't know. I don't know if I trust him because he just didn't really see anything.
Philip Lindsay got released today, so maybe
we did.
Yeah, so maybe his price tag will be good. You know, for the Jets possibly, or maybe James Conner. Why not?
I would be open to
Why
something
not?
like that.
If the price is right,
cheap, if you get
price is right, get him in the door.
I think, you know what? I think Douglas. I think part of me really wants Douglas to make a cool move like that because they have so much money.
Right.
But like, he's not going to make
we're
a
not,
crazy
we're not in the place to do that this time.
No, and if anything,
we're still building. I keep reminding myself. We can't. There's guys we could get, but we shouldn't. Not ready.
It doesn't make any sense.
We're not ready. Like Kyle Rudolph today, $8 million a year for 2 years to the Giants. I'm like, could have been a good move for the Jets. We don't have a tight end. But then again, he's declining.
Yeah,
it's not the right move for the Jets at this time. So
I think I was so excited last week. It's like, oh my god, we finally have the cap space. We could potentially get a new quarterback. And then like Joe Douglas was kind of like, all right, we're doing this the right way, guys.
Yeah.
Like, we're just slow down a little bit.
I mean, I kind of like Ryan Griffin. I know he's not the most flashy tight end, but I don't mind him as a.
He just had so many dropping issues. He dropped the ball so much. Then, like the few times he got targets his way last year, I feel like he just dropped the ball too much. But then again, the entire New York Jets offense did that, receivers and tight ends.
I mean, Hurts wasn't much better.
So. No, it was maybe even worse.
Yeah,
He
was worse.
But again, it's just like it's so hard to grade them because Griffin 2 years ago was really solid.
Yeah.
That's what earned him his contract. I'm pretty sure he got a contract after that year.
Yeah. And they have to fix offensive line.
Yeah, no, they do. They have to draft through the draft.
I'm about to say, I feel like the way things have gone, he's totally committed to building this team through the draft.
Oh, and he said it repeatedly.
Especially the trenches and the offensive line, especially. I feel like he's going to make all the moves on the offensive line. I feel like he wants to draft, maybe I hope his plan is to draft 2 or 3 guys in the first few rounds on the offensive line because I don't know what he plans on doing. There are guys out there that have been talked about. I keep seeing Creed Humphrey's name out there. I see Wyatt Davis' name out there. I see a lot of names out there, and I hope Douglas has something in mind where he wants to go get these guys, either go up in the draft or move back picks to get these guys because we have to fix this offensive line. It's absolutely horrendous.
He'll draft O-line for sure. I think that's like the biggest lock going is that he'll draft. I don't know what round. Listen, that's the one thing I will give Joe Douglas. He still, in my opinion, obviously needs to prove himself as a GM that could really manage free agency and evaluate talent within the NFL.
Mhm.
But I think he's proven that he can evaluate college talent really well.
Yeah.
I mean, he proved it already with the offensive line. He had 3 options of what to do with an O-lineman at his point in time last year, and it seemed like he picked the right guy with Becton.
Right, I don't
So,
know Becton.
I trust him with whoever he picks at O-line, whatever round it is, just because I think he has that track record of being able to pick a college lineman.
Mhm.
And I think if I had $100 right now and had to make that bet, I think it's just a lock that he will address the offensive line in the draft for sure.
I hope so. And then, the one good part about this team right now is defensive line.
Best.
I mean, we got guys in the middle who could play in the interior, I should say. And Quinnen Williams, who's a star, budding star. Fadukasi,
I love him.
stud.
I love him.
And the accountant, I call him, John Franklin Myers.
Best.
These guys are solid in the interior. And now we got Carl Lawson next to them.
going to say, I think they did that last year with no edge rush, and now a team's going to be like, oh my God, we have Quinnen Williams over here, we
Right.
have Lawson over here, who are we going to focus on?
Right.
Is it possible the Jets could actually, come full circle with the defense
Right.
in
Maybe
all aspects?
Maybe they could add even another pass rusher. There's guys out there who are solid ball players who play in this league for years, veterans who have played well and are proven, like Ryan Kerrigan, Melvin Ingram.
Melvin Ingram, yeah, that's right. Forgot.
Good players are out there.
And again, if you want a culture guy, that
I think Everson Griffin's still out there. There's guys out there who could play. Justin Houston, there's guys who are proven. Give one guy a 1-year deal. Just try to build the whole line up.
I mean,
the line up.
we're still early on in this free agency period. I mean, there are still going to be moves to make.
Right.
Joe Douglas is still going to make some moves.
And I hope you're right about Jared Davis being, that third type linebacker.
Yeah.
And I hope they sign KJ Wright. That's a guy who's been with Sal before. I don't see him getting crazy money. He's a veteran. That would be a perfect guy to stick in there right next to Mosley and have Jared Davis be the third linebacker. I'd be thrilled with that.
Right. And actually, you hear about those potential C.J. Mosley trades that teams are calling for C.J. Mosley for whatever
I'd be
reason.
surprised if they got a deal done. Just because there's a lot of guaranteed money. I think people are just kicking the tires on that, but I don't see him moving. And also, there's a lot of cornerbacks out there too.
Yeah, and specifically with cornerback too, I feel like that's the one thing Douglas and Saleh need to do is bring in someone from San Fran that could be that player to help coach the other players into learning that
Right,
system.
like a Sherman we mentioned last time, or Quan Williams. They can also bring back a Brian Poole, but there's guys who are good ball players.
Yeah, solid
Now,
players.
There are players getting cut from good teams, like surprising, like Adoree Jackson got cut, Kyle Fuller got cut. These are starters, like very solid stars in this league, and they're getting cut. I don't know what their price tag is going to be because none of them have really signed anywhere yet. I think they're all feeling it out, see what another one gets before they all sign. But I would like Douglas to tie those too.
That's where if Douglas could find a guy with value. That's the one word I hear with Joe Douglas when he finds players and signs players: value.
Yeah.
If he gets value on some of these guys, which I'm sure
He's been patient, so I'm sure he's going to get his guy. He's going to pick it apart. Like even with Marcus Joyner. Low-key move, but his numbers are free safety, like as Rob said before. They don't lie.
Yeah.
He's a solid ball player, free safety.
Right, yeah.
So I'm sure he's going to find that guy who just fits the right way for this team at the right price tag.
Right, absolutely.
So I'm looking forward to how that goes too. Don't point out bringing back Brian Poole on this team.
I wouldn't mind that at all. I think he's a solid player.
They could also bring in Xavier Rhodes, Casey Hayward. There's other cornerbacks out there who could play in this league, and I think he's waiting for the right one to fall in his lap.
Yeah, the right one to fall in his lap that fits in the scheme that he can get at a decent price tag, for sure. I think that's the Joe Douglas way.
Mm-hmm.
So, with all of that being said, there's one little segment that we want to bring in to this podcast on a more regular basis, everyone. And I know that what we spoke about in the first episode was the whole Jets shtick of the pain of the franchise, we're all pissed that we're Jet fans. We're not going to focus our podcast episodes are not going to be mainly about that. We give you facts, we give you our opinions, and we just talk Jets. But at the same time, you got to give us a little opportunity to vent. This is going to be a segment about just, honestly, what pisses us off right now.
What pisses us off?
So, Francesco, the floor is yours. What's pissing you off right now as a Jet fan?
What pisses me off right now is all of the Jets' Twitter going off about running backs needing to get Najee Harris, Etienne, sign Aaron Jones, all these big name running backs. No. You don't pay these running backs, these big money running backs. Or you don't draft them high either. You don't draft them in the first round. It's the wrong move. You just don't do it because they don't have a long shelf life in this league. They just absolutely don't. Look at what the Jets did with Le'Veon Bell. That was going to be the best signing ever. Didn't work out. His career is pretty much finished. He thought he was going to get his career rejuvenated on the Chiefs. He didn't. He didn't at all. And here's one fact. Here's one little quick fact. Do you know how many running backs on the same team they started on that were drafted before 2016? One. Gio Bernard. Besides that, there's no other running back before that was drafted before 2016 that's still on the same team that they were. You don't want to draft a running back high in the second round maybe, but definitely not the first round. Let them go to the teams that are ready to do that. The Jets are not ready to draft an Etienne or Najee Harris. No, not the move. And you don't want to sign one either, especially when the offensive line isn't even... There's one guarantee, maybe two if you like Font that much. Noah Font. You don't do it. You don't draft players high that will go cheap in free agency. In general. You want guys that are impact players, that are expensive players, that you have for cheap while you have them on the rookie contracts. That's my rant. That's what's pissing me off. Because I see it everywhere, and people have to understand it just doesn't make sense.
It's beautifully said.
You go.
How do you feel? How do you feel getting it out?
Just go. I can't do this anymore. Just go, please.
I'll just go. You know what's pissing me off right now? I love all you guys that are listening out there. I really do. Love you. Love you to death. But it's you guys. You gotta calm down a little bit. You gotta take a deep breath, everybody. Everyone's going at our boy Joe Douglas. Not getting the big name receivers. Not getting this guy. Not getting Tooney. Everyone, take a chill pill. Let's relax. It'll be all right. Do you trust Joe Douglas? Then let him do his thing. You can't have this guy's head at a stake, if that's even the right phrase. I can't even think right now. After 2 days of free agency, let alone 2 hours into free agency. I agree, guys. We have a ton of money. We have optimism. You want a big move, but it's just not yet. Not a big move is when you're a player or two away from like going and being a playoff team, going to the Super Bowl.
I'm sorry to interrupt. My favorite is when Jets Twitter goes, "Oh, Joe Douglas doesn't spend any money." We can sign Carl Lawson and Corey Davis to $15 million a year deals.
Right. Exactly. So my advice to everybody: take a chill pill, and I will say this. This is a promise. I will be with you guys protesting and rioting if come the draft, Joe Douglas still does not address the offensive line, still doesn't, put talent around the quarterback, which I would argue he already did by bringing in 2 receivers, but still doesn't address the offensive line, still doesn't address tight end, still doesn't address maybe even anything with running back. And even with addressing it, he could say, hey, we're going to see what we have in P. Ryan and Johnson. I'm okay with that. We're still a few years away. So before I get too worked up, I'm going to take a chill pill myself.
Yeah, I don't blame you. And I love how Jets Twitter, some guys on Jets Twitter are saying, Joe Douglas is not everything we thought he was, blah, blah, blah. Are you crazy? Are you people crazy? It's 1 year in. 1 year. He was given a horrible hand when McCagnon left him and with Adam Gase. Give him a chance to build his own regime.
Maybe the worst hand imaginable. Yeah. Not even a horrible.
After this year, if there's not much progress, okay, I can understand. But give the guy a chance.
That's why I'm saying let him do his thing in free agency. Let him draft. And then see what happens. If they're 2-14 again, then I'll be with you guys. I promise you. But I feel better. We got the whole rant out. Thank you guys again for listening and tuning into this episode. If you haven't done so already, please, give us a follow on Instagram, Twitter,
Jets
YouTube,
Banter everywhere.
@JetsBanter. And please, guys, Like, subscribe.
Let us know what you think.
comments.
Let us know what you think of all our podcasts, the good, the bad, the ugly. Let us know about it all.
The more feedback, the better. But thank you guys. Sincerely appreciate it. But let's go get a goddamn snack.